Coming back off of a better performance against the Citadel. They were played with a little better flow, a little better ball movement, and that showed on film. I thought we got some awfully good looks that we missed. We missed 10 layups in that game, or little bunnies. Had we finished 7 or 8 of those, gets really lopsided. But we were solid defensively. We weren't great. I thought we were better in the Hawaii game than we were. We've got to clean a few things up on that end. But now we move forward to a very like team, and I say that in Hampton is a team that has got a lot of like pieces. They got a lot of 6'6" to 6'8" guys that they play throughout their roster. They're extremely athletic. They'll bring the nation's second leading scorer to town. Morrow is a very, very gifted athlete. He scores it at all 3 levels. He's got extremely deep range. He is a great mid-range. He gets into the paint and is a very, very willing passer, not just a scorer. But the one thing I think that he does an elite job of is get to the foul line as well over 250 attempts last year from the free throw line. He's getting 7 a game there. And then along with that, they're plus 16 on the year on the glass. They've got a guy getting Smith kid, Amir Smith, is getting 4 offensive rebounds a night, which is a ton. And that's something we have to address after the game with the Citadel. So we've got to be great. They're one of the fastest teams in the country in pace of play, averaging over 90 points a game. And we got to be very solid in our communication and transition, and we've got to make sure we're getting back. So be a great challenge for us, and very talented, very athletic team.
I guess defensively against Morrow, is that stick a trend on him, or do you maybe use all 3 of your guards to?
I think we'll have all 3 guys on him. Guarding him is not a one-man challenge. It's not an easy task. We've got to be very alert to him. They utilize him in ball screens. They utilize him in isolations, and then he's a guy that is really electric in the open court in terms of. One possession he may shoot it 5 or 6 feet behind the line, and the next minute he's driving you to the rim, and he keeps you off balance. So all 3 guys or 4 guys, 5 guys, however many it takes, or we'll take turns guarding him.
How are you starting to see things for Ben maybe just start clicking a little bit more than they were when he first started actually getting playing time and stuff like that?
Well, I think every day it's just familiarity, and with familiarity comes comfort, and then things slow down a little bit, he's made a great post move the other night, just took his time, didn't rush it, he got off the ground and was really a nice move with his left hand. So you see his skill set that he can go both ways, right, left. Again, I thought defensively he was really solid. He didn't make many mistakes, and then he grabs 4 rebounds in limited minutes, and we've got to have that from him. He's a very physical player. We need that presence on our team and on the court, and every day he's making strides.
To get in a better flow offensively against the Citadel, did that give you just a better feeling of maybe what you guys are doing on that end?
Yeah, no doubt. I think we get sometimes we get stuck. I'll use that term, I guess. Maybe trying to play a little too much to the interior, knowing that we have guys who can score in there, and so we're a 1,001, 1,002 little delay, we got to flow, and we got to see it just a little bit earlier. We saw that earlier against the Citadel, and no offense to them, and but they didn't have the size that we're going to see on a lot of nights. But we did flow better, and that was evident with 60% field goal shooting in the second half.
Brad, how would you characterize your team's approach defensively through these 5 games compared to what you saw the last couple of years? Has the philosophy or the mindset, the buy-in at all changed?
I think all above. I think philosophically we've changed a few things. I think we're, I'm really pleased to this point with the not fouling, keeping people off the line. In retrospect, I mean, that was something that my teams have always done a lot. It gets magnified when you don't get there. That was one of the issues last year that I had with us offensively, was we never got to the line. We never balanced that out. And then, I've been really pleased with our rebounding. That's been a huge plus for us, but again, it's a game to game. It's growing. It's an everyday process. We're still not there. We still made too many mistakes, scouting report mistakes. The other night against the Citadel, which we've got to clean up, but we're growing in that area as well.
You said you guys get stuck offensively, and you think you may try and go to the interior too much. Do you think getting into that flow offensively helps your jump shooting, especially from the 3-point? And how do you guys improve that going forward against a good Hampton team?
Yeah, I mean, when we get stuck, the ball just kind of sticks where we don't see the right read early. And so we kind of hold the ball trying to get it in there. And everything's a rhythm on the offensive end, and it's amazing how when you pop the ball around and you move and guys are stepping into shots, and they get a good pass. I mean, how much more the ball goes in. There's no doubt it'll help our perimeter jump shooting. We're a good shooting team, and we've proven that with all these guys over the last few years. So. It's just a matter of finding that perfect rhythm, and we got closer on Tuesday night or Wednesday night, whenever that was. Wednesday night.
Just where do you feel like Kofi is defensively with understanding his rotations and when to contest a shot? He mentioned that he's not there yet himself. He feels like he's not there yet himself with understanding just everything defensively yet.
Yeah, he's trying to block it like he was in high school. And that those are plays where he could just take a step late and just go block it because he was bigger and he was longer and doing that. And that's not going to work at this level. And he's got to be there with his chest, and he's got to contest. There's probably no more imposing figure in college basketball than Kofi. If you're somebody coming down the lane and you see his numbers and you see him spread out and big and his chest out, and that's a pretty imposing figure, and he can't count on trying to block it and come late. He's got to get there early and wall off, and when he does that, he's he'll help our rim protection a great deal.
When we talked to him just now, he said he likes constructive criticism. Earlier, a moment ago, you said one of the keys against Hampton will be getting back on defense. And I think there was one time the other night when he made a nice offensive play and didn't hustle back to the other end, and he got away with it. But is that one of the things he needs to fix?
Yeah, I think one of the things that we challenge Kofi with every day is he needed to feel that extreme fatigue that goes with playing hard and learn to play through that. And that's something I'm not sure how many times in his life he's felt, and been able to have things demanded of him that he get through that. And there was a play in the game we showed him on film, and he was dead tired, and he got down there and he didn't even jump, and we gave up a layup, and we couldn't get him out. Game's going on, You can't call timeouts, and that's where he's got to find that inner toughness and grow and get through that and make plays regardless. So, yeah, I mean, transition defense will be a big part of it tomorrow. He's going to play against 6'7", 6'8" guys that are really athletic, and he's going to have to transition. There's no doubt.
On the topic of Kofi's conditioning, I know when he got here, you guys have dropped him 6, 7, 8, maybe 10 pounds. Has he surprised you with how many minutes he can play? I know you've said that you want to get him in shorter stretches, but he seems to do okay, I guess, playing 5, 6, 7 minutes at a time, and then he gets tired later on in those stretches. How do you fix that? I know you're trying to push him and get in better conditioning.
We've got to monitor around timeouts a little better. And again, I judge conditioning not on how long they can play, but how quickly they can recover. And recovery time is the biggest challenge, is making sure that he's ready to go when he comes back in. It doesn't matter how long he plays. Being okay in those segments isn't good enough. We need him to be hard and at an elite level when he's in the game, and we're still tweaking that, and sometimes game conditions require that you play a little more. Early he had to play some, in the Arizona game he had to play a long stretch. Georgie's in foul trouble, so he has to learn to be better in those situations when he's tired.
We know how good Io is in transition, and not forcing as many turnovers maybe limits those opportunities. Of course, you still want to run on defensive rebounds. But does that change what he has to do in the half court at all as far as his role or ways to make an impact?
Yes and no. We had 24 points the other night in under 7 seconds. That's something that we've never stopped running. I think the one thing that we've tried to be constructive about is making sure that we didn't turn it over. I think we were 3 for 18 in our transition area against Arizona, and we had 7 turnovers. Those are the things that we can't have. Those are the important facets of the game that we've had to grow in. And then Io's picking his spots. I mean, and I'll give you a great example. He's got 4 first cutter layups in the last 2 games. Great opportunity for him to score at 6'5", with his speed cutting to the rim. And he's starting to figure that out. And then the ball screen opportunities. You got a great look at a floater. So absolutely. I mean, that's one of the growths of Io's game is playing in the half court, and not always having to get an easy basket in transition.
Just where do you feel like your bench unit is at this point, and just trying to contribute, I guess, especially offensively, trying to contribute in ways off the bench?
Well, I've been really pleased with it at times. I think the one thing we're looking for is consistency. I loved DeMonte Williams the other night. DeMonte Williams was a monster. I mean, DeMonte was terrific in terms of what his rebounding was, his defensive prowess, his passing. Allen got some good looks. I don't ever worry about Allen. I know he's going to offensive rebound. He's a terrific shooter. He got some good looks that just didn't happen to go. But he's going to be a knockdown 3-point shooter. So I feel like offensively we got good punch. And then I thought our bigs. I thought Ben gave us, between Ben, Kipper, Jermaine, I thought they gave us really, really solid production. And I'll take that every night.
Getting the 3 games at home this week, how much of a difference does it make compared to the opening week when you're on the road? Just are there things you can do differently just because you're not
sleep in your own bed's a big part of it. I mean, it's a nice feeling to have that out of the way. And like I said, I think the value of traveling and the value of those 2 road games is we got tested, and we knew exactly, okay, this is Arizona. They're pretty good. And, we took their best punch, and they played great, and they beat us. and yet it gave us a great opportunity now to come home with 3 and or 4 or whatever it is, and work on some things and improve and get better and have that time in between to try to get comfortable. And we're making strides that way.
28% from 3 through 5 games. I know you have some talented individual shooters, but how have you shot it in practice, and is that concerning at all for you so far?
Nah, I mean, you take Trent's first game away, and Trent's getting good looks. I feel really good about the looks Io's getting. Io maybe took 1. Dre's been terrific shooting it. I still believe Allen's one of the best shooters in our conference. I think we went through this a little bit last year where we didn't make them early. We're trying to get in here more into State Farm Center to get more shots, get more reps, and we've spent more time on it. To be quite honest, we haven't spent enough time in this building, probably getting enough shots, and we've really worked on that here the last couple days. Thanks, guys.